Rotameter. Rotameter is a flow measuring instrument specifically designed to insert this rotameter in the pipeline vertically. And rotameter works as a constant pressure drop variable area meter. Variable area meter means this rotameter flow measuring instrument is designed such that the area is constantly varying from bottom to top, and it can be used only in vertical pipeline. It has less accuracy, 2% lesser accuracy compared to other types, but it's simple in construction, it is ready to install, and the flow rate can directly seen on a calibrated scale without any other secondary transducer. And it is useful for a wide range of variation of flow rates, that is 10:1 ratio. It means that whatever is the ratio of whatever is the flow rate in the pipeline, the 1/10 part is shown in the rotameter. Now the basic construction. The basic construction of rotameter is shown here in the diagram. It is a tapered pipeline from bottom to top. The area is increasing constantly, uniformly, and the fluid is flowing from bottom to top. It is such inserted in the pipeline so that for the measurement of flow, the fluid has to flow from bottom to top in the rotameter. As the float moves up and down, there is a change in the gap. And what is this float? This is actually a cylindrical type metallic float, which is shown here in a rectangular box. It is actually a cylindrical type float, and it is moves up and down. When it moves up and down, then there is a change in this orifice area. Actually, the bottom of the float is creating the orifice area. When there is no flow, zero flow, at that time this float resides at the bottom and the passage is totally closed. As the flow is starting, the liquid is starting flowing, and the float will move upwards direction and this orifice area will change. The float settles down at a position where the pressure drop across the orifice plate. Pressure drop across the orifice plate means this P2 and P1. And this P2 and P1 will create an upward thrust that will balance the downward thrust due to gravity. The position of float is calibrated with the flow rate. So here the float is actually having one indicator. See here, this is the vertical line we are able to watch, and this vertical line is equally distributed horizontal lines. Actually, these are this is a scale. This is the scale having a reading in the calibrated terms of flow. So by reading these values, these lines, these horizontal lines values, readings are actually the output of this flow meter, that is rotameter. Okay, so mathematically we have to see it how. Gamma 1 is specific weight of the float. This is the float. Its specific weight is gamma 1, and gamma 2 is a specific weight of the fluid. And Vf is the volume of the float. This is the float. So Vf is the volume of the float. Af is the area of float. You have to keep in mind that this line Af area of float and At area of tube at equilibrium. Okay. So this area of float is constant, but according to the variations in the flow, the area of tube at equilibrium will be changed. For the orifice for incompressible fluid, the flow rate will be this complete value. Okay, the flow rate is this complete value, and Q is the mass flow rate, which is CD A2 by under root 1 minus A2 by A1 whole square under root 2G by gamma 2 P1 minus P2. Again, if not capable to learn the complete formula, we have to keep in mind that mass flow rate Q is directly proportional to under root of P1 minus P2. But here one difference is there, that this A2 and A1 is also varying. Okay. Now, how the float is considered? Actually, in the float, there are the three forces acting it. Fd is the downward thrust on the float, and Fu upward thrust on the float. And W is the weight of the float, which is also acting downwards due to gravity. So, these two floats which are acting downwards and Fu acting upwards, they are balancing the float to rest in a particular position for a particular flow value. Okay. So, what is W at balance? W, that is the weight of the float, at balance, W will be equal to Fu minus Fd. Okay. And therefore, the P1 minus P2 will be changed, and it will be equal to Vf, that is velocity of float, divided by Af, that is area of float, multiplied by gamma 1 minus gamma 2. Gamma 1 is the specific weight of float and gamma 2 is the specific weight of fluid. So when we are putting this P1 minus P2 value in the actual equation of mass flow rate, we will get this change value of mass flow rate. Okay, this change value of mass flow rate, where if this complete value, since it is very much lesser than 1, comparable to 1, this complete value here in this diagram, this complete value is very much lesser than 1. That's why this complete value can be existing as 1. So what you will get in the main formula, you will get CD AT minus AF only in the upper side, and the denominator will become 1. And since these are the constant at particular flow of the liquid, AF will be constant, the tube area is constant where the float is residing, CD is constant. So we will have this formula that must be learned, that must be remembered, that Q is equal to, that is the mass flow rate is equal to capital K, the complete constant terms are taken as capital K, multiplied by AT minus AF. And what you are watching, that this AT minus AF is actually the differential area, difference in area. So this gives us a decision that if the tube is made in such a way that AT varies linearly with the displacement. AT means area of tube, that is area of rotameter. If this AT value is linearly varying, one have a linear relationship in the form Q is equal to K1 plus K2x. And what is this x? This x is the displacement of float. Okay. By mathematics, we can prove that if in this formula, if AT is varying linearly, then we can have this linear relationship where this x is actually displacement from bottom to top, how much it has been displaced. Okay. So actually if you will watch the diagram of rotameter, what you will be able to watch that whenever we are measuring the flow, actually we are starting the flow of liquid and the float is moving upwards direction, and due to the formula derivation and due to its designing consideration, the observer only watches the displacement of the float in this vertical scale, which is linearly spaced. Okay, so for the observer it is very easy to take the reading of the flow, which is this linear displacement value calibrated in terms of liquid flow or fluid flow. So this has become very simple, very easy to understand by the observer and the person who is going to take the reading. Okay. Now, as we know that LVDT, linear variable differential transformer, this LVDT is used for measurement of displacement. So if in any condition, if the displacement of float can be converted to electrical signal by using LVDT, then this will be acting as a displacement sensor, and for large flow rate measurement, rotameter is normally placed in a bypass line from where the LVDT connected to it give the readings directly in the digital meter via electrical signals. Okay, so this was rotameter. Now the major source of error. How error occurs in rotameter? The major source of error in the rotameter is due to variation of density of fluid. If same fluid is flowing with the variable flow values, then it is easy to take the readings. But in the same pipeline, if the different fluids are flowing, then there may be error in rotameter. So while designing the float, we have to keep in mind these design considerations, that the float should be designed to head vertical. These are the designing considerations. It should create uniform turbulence so as to make it insensitive to viscosity. When we are taking the float, the material should be such chosen that the uniform turbulence should occur so as to make it insensitive to viscosity. And the third important point is it should make the rotameter least sensitive to the variation of fluid density, and that's why the shape, the construction is like that. All these points that earlier just now we have discussed, if those are taken in account, then this is the shape of the float, the cylindrical float. These are the angular grooves and having sharp edges, and at the bottom it is having a pointer. This is the pointer through which we can take the reading. Okay, so this is the construction of float, and the performance of the float will easily be understood by the observer using the vertical scale in the rotameter. And now this is the end of the rotameter. Okay.